even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020.
Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the New Orleans Saints
and the Las Vegas Raiders.
Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in week 3.
And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Saints take over first and 10. They're on the 17-yard line.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
Kamara gets it again on second down.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
On second down, Kamara. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He rifles one that's intercepted.
And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. Here's Jacobs. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. One more time with Jacobs. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on third down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on third down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Well, here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they'll be looking to make amends for that first drive, which came to a rather abrupt ending.
Certainly did, and I remember going back to my notes before this game, and a lot of times when I scout a guy, I have a little section about how does he handle adversity. And in this case, a big check mark. He may have thrown the first interception, but I don't think he's going to throw very many more. Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Second and 2.
They'll get this out to Kamara.
Only able to gain a couple there. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Here's Kamara trying to run for it.
And this will wind up a Saints first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Jennings.
To the 43, second down. So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy cornerback.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Second and 7.
Back to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down. Three nothing after 1 on EA Sports.
Raiders 3, Saints nothing.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara.
Down to about the 37.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
They're going to look to throw.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
I believe this is what you would call growing pains here, partner, because this defense obviously took the challenge facing the rookie, and they wanted to help indoctrinate him to the NFL. So now the big question is, can he answer that challenge and rebound with plenty of time remaining in this game?
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive.
He'll get this to about the 38.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And he is out of bounds right around the 34.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
That's good for 28 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
That is caught. Michael Pittman with it.
Touchdown, New Orleans.
Michael Pittman.
His first touchdown of the new season.
And the Saints have taken the lead. And Jonathan Garibay out for the PAT.
And this is up and good to make it 7-3.
Makes the score Saints 7, Raiders 3.
Garibay back out there now to send this one away. Pulls it in at the 13. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 29.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw on second down. Simmons. He's at the 40. 20. 10. Touchdown Raiders. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And it's through, and that makes the lead at 10-7. The Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
2nd and 5. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Divine Diablo dropping him behind the line of scrimmage. On 4th down, Dom Maggio out to punt.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Simmons. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get in the field goal range.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. He'll drop to throw. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he let him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds.
Throwing out right here, caught by Olave.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
They'll look to throw again. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They gave it a shot with a deep pass, but it wasn't going to work there. And now there's less time for them to try and get 3 before the half. Let's see what they dial up on this next snap.
And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. And a fair catch called for and taken right on the midfield stripe. Pretty woeful there, just 23 yards on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway.
And a short kick taken at about the 16. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Simmons. He finds his man complete. It's Jacobs. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And this is going to be a Raiders first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down. A nice, consistent game.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun, Simmons. And that's complete to Adams.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Simmons. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 33. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Back to the running game with Jacobs. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Operating from the gun, Simmons. His throw incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The kick by Carlson is good, and the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. All things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same, because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone. That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen they can move the line of scrimmage.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Nate Hobbs.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now because those halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick six.
Hey, that's a great observation too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading, and it's appropriate that those defenders got to add to the lead directly.
And he's got it here for the 2 points, but there is a marker down, so we'll have to see what that's about.
That's on Austin Jackson, first-round pick in 2020.
Carlson on for the PAT. And the lead is now 13. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 14 yards is the pickup, first down New Orleans. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back to throw now on first down. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today.
And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
I mean, I just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And able to work his way down to the 16.
41 yards on the ground for him so far. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
He'll get that out wide to Duvernay.
So they hit pay dirt, but don't count it yet. There's laundry on the field. We'll see what the penalty flag is about.
Colton Miller, former first-round pick, called for the penalty there.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. 25 yards for the touchdown.
And the Raiders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Back to throw again.
Out of his hands quickly to Pittman. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
The Saints on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Kamara up the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And it'll be intercepted.
Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 40-yard line.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. They find some open field here.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Just a great individual effort there to take that pop pass and scamper off into the end zone.
And that's why offenses love that play, partner, because that gives them a chance to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers with a full head of steam behind them. It's often like a track relay. Legs 2, 3, and 4. That first guy steaming ahead, and he just hands it to you, and you get a chance to take off and go before you even get the baton.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Olave over the middle.
And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he'll be taken down at the 34.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Raider D, they get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Las Vegas, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they'll fall to 1-2.
And they will be back home next week for a date with the Washington Commanders.